Welcome, and thank you so much for joining us today. You know, one of the hardest things for anybody in this world to deal with in life is a loss. And we've all experienced them in one way or another. Some of us have experienced a very sudden loss, a prolonged loss, but no matter what it is, it's always painful. But what if the loss I'm talking about is about the pain of hearing that you only have a very short time to live? And my first guest today, his life changed in an instant when she was diagnosed with stage 4 cancer. Take a look at this.
We all know that at some point we're going to die. We grow up thinking we're going to live to be 70, 80, 90 years old. Unfortunately, I was given a cancer diagnosis and I was termed incurable. I have been given a prognosis of about 5 years of living. Being incurable, you've been given a time. It's like you've been told you will die and you're getting closer to the date. I've been told that I will be receiving chemotherapy treatments until my body can no longer take them. Every time I go in for chemotherapy, I say a little goodbye to my family, knowing that there can be complications. There is a risk of my blood cells attacking my body. You can die of complications of chemotherapy. Physically, cancer has affected me, my hair. I've lost my hair, my breathing. I've had part of my lung removed, and there's tumors in my lung. There are people out there that have a difficult time accepting the fact that they have cancer, and they put their lives on hold. I refuse. I am going to fight. Like I say, there is a cure coming. And while I'm waiting for that to happen, I am living every day.
We all try our best to live a life that's dignified, but it's over the top to find a person who understands how to live that life in dignity when death is facing them in the eye. Please welcome Kathy to the show. I gotta tell you, I can't even imagine what life is like for you. Looking ahead, it's almost like thinking about turning off a light switch. Do you know what I'm saying?
I do.
But I'm just, how can you look ahead knowing that? Because all of us are living, we all think, everybody knows they're gonna die one day.
The light switch was turned off on part of my life, but another light switch was turned on.
You know what? Let's go back. Go back to when you first found out. You sensed something weird for a while, didn't you?
I did.
Kathy, right?
Oh, since I was about 40.
Tell them what you sensed. What were you feeling? Because I want also people at home that may have something going through them right now watching the screen to understand. What did you sense?
Well, I'd been to the emergency room several times with stomach pain.
Severe stomach pain?
Severe stomach pain, doubled over. And always sent home, we have no idea what's wrong with you.
And some doctors would say, what would they say, a myriad of other digestive illnesses from...
I was treated for irritable bowel syndrome.
And that's it, sent home?
Sent home, never tested, never had a colonoscopy, just here's the pills, take them.
10 years go by, finally, it's so uncomfortable you can't sit down, right?
Oh, towards the end, the last 3 months, I was in so much pain.
Finally, were you out at dinner? Where were you guys out? You were out with your husband?
No, actually, I was home alone. My husband was with his son. They were on their way to an event. And I went to the bathroom, and there was blood in the toilet.
And you went, I got to do this checked.
And it scared me. And I called my husband. He said, I'm turning around. I'll be right back.
You go to the hospital?
We went to the emergency room. And I thought, how embarrassing. They're going to test me and they're going to see hemorrhoids.
Oh, no. And you know what, I gotta tell you something, man, but you say that, a couple people chuckled. That's half the reason why people don't go and have a colonoscopy or have a check, because you're so worried about what somebody's gonna see on the other side of your body.
Yes.
And you're going to see a specialist who specializes in that, so why not drop your pants?
Right.
But instead, we don't.
Right. So I ended up in the emergency room.
And the doctor walked back into your holding room.
Yes.
And described the look on his face.
I'll never forget it. It was just, he had no emotion. He just looked at me. It's like he didn't even want to look at me. He said, I had really bad news for you. You have a mass growing in your rectal area.
And at this point in time, they considered it 2B? What?
Stage 2B, which
Stage
is
2B.
very treatable.
Then, what happened?
My colorectal surgeon, who does my colonoscopy, suggested I have a PET scan.
What's a body scan?
It's a body scan.
And after that PET scan, you saw the doctor walk back in the room again with a look on his face, didn't you?
Actually, he called a few days later.
He called a few days later.
And he hesitated to call me because it was Memorial Day weekend and he didn't want to ruin my weekend.
We'll be back right after this.
Okay.
And the doctor said what?
She said, Kathy, this is incurable cancer. You don't know that? And I said, what do you mean this is incurable cancer? What is my prognosis, 20 years? And she looked at me and she said, Kathy, we'd be happy to see you around in 5 years.